What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2004 Infiniti Q45 Luxury. Up front is a 4.5-liter V8, and down below is a 5-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Q45 for two reasons. First of all, I have already driven one here on the channel, a 2005 model. However, this one is really low mileage. It's just under 80,000 miles, and it's an extremely well-kept example. And you guys really loved the first Q45 video, so I'm here 4 years later doing another one. But the second reason is the fact that this is a very misunderstood, underrepresented, and quite frankly, forgotten luxury car of the 2000s, and I'm always excited to share vehicles like that with you here on the channel. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And huge thank you to Low Mile Cars here in Burr Ridge, Illinois, for letting me take out their Q45. They specialize in, as the title suggests, low mileage vehicles. And this is one of their inventory. Please go browse their inventory down in the description below. I don't think you'll regret it. But let's get back to that 4.5-liter V8. Well, Infiniti and Nissan as a whole, you don't often hear V8 in the same sentence. Nissan has always had a very strict focus on 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder engines. We know them for like the RBs, the VGs, the VQs. So hearing a V8 from Nissan is very, very interesting. However, I will say this 4.5-liter is amazing. It makes 340 horsepower. It has definitely enough power and torque to fit all of your needs. And it is cool to be driving a V8 Nissan. Again, something I just don't get to say all that much. Now, like I said, paired to it is a 5-speed automatic. These only ever came automatic because they were more executive, more luxurious vehicles than, say, the Silvias or 240s or 350Zs that were coming out at the time. So automatic was the way to go. Last but not least, this is rear-wheel drive. So it is a V8 rear-wheel drive Japanese sedan of your dreams. How does it feel to drive the Q45? What's it like to have a fire-breathing V8 under the hood? There's no fire-breathing V8. It's not fast. It's definitely quick, but the biggest cornerstone of the Q45 is its smoothness. Everything in here feels buttery and silky. This car whispers to you. It doesn't scream at you. And that's what a true luxury car should be. I know that there are fast luxury cars. BMW does the M5. Blah, 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 rah, 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 rah. Those are great too, and I love those vehicles. But there's just something about a little bit of a lazy, but just focused on comfort vehicle. The V8 is so unbothered. That's the best part about it. It's just unbothered. It doesn't care if you floor it or if you just big toe it. It's very happy, and that is a beautiful spot to be in, and I wish that more Infiniti and Nissan products got this drivetrain here in the United States. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 5 electroluminescent gauges in front of me. Well, off to the left, we have the fuel and coolant temperature, and then we get the speedometer and tachometer taking up the center and right. We do get a little digital odometer displaying that beautiful 79,000 miles on this car. Absolutely lovely. On the steering wheel, on the left, we have our volume mode and skip track, as well as off to the right, we have our cruise control. The overall steering wheel seems to be the only part of this car that hasn't fared well, which is interesting to see because this is such a well-kept car. Off to the left, we do have a climate vent, power mirror adjustments, gauge dimmer switch, and headlight leveling. Very, very cool to see that, and we'll definitely be talking about the headlights a little bit later on. Moving on to the door, we have 2 levels of memory seats, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, up on the dash, you see these 3 Bose speakers. They do look a little out of nowhere, kind of poking out. However, I think that they're very cool, and it's nice to see a nice Bose system here in 2004. Moving into the center, we do get a digital display. This is a screen showing the climate controls and fan speed and what have you. Very, very cool and very futuristic for 2004. Surrounding that, we do have climate control vents along with an Infiniti badge, and down below we have like a number pad and tape and CD, FM, all of our radio controls and climate controls mixed in. What I don't like is that the climate controls are sort of incognito. You really have to look for them in order to find them, but they are most certainly there. We get a nice Infiniti analog clock. Absolutely love seeing this in cars. Your little Honda Civic doesn't get an analog clock, but the Infiniti Q45 does. I like that little touch. We have a 6-disc CD changer. Absolutely love seeing that down below. Very, very cool. And we have our pop-out ashtray and cigarette lighter. Moving into the center, we have the shifter off to the left. Jigsaw style shifter. You can plus minus if you'd like. Don't have to though. Heated seats off to the right of that, which are pleasantly working here 20 years later. Absolutely love that. And then we do have pop open cup holders. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test, and as you open it, you get these 2 little cup holders, but it says at the bottom, remove for 1 liter bottle. And so removing it, as it says for the 1 liter bottle, it's a little shaky, but driving around, the big friggin' bottle does in fact stay put. So the Infiniti Q45 does pass the big friggin' bottle test because it specifically says to remove for larger bottles. Very, very cool. Then we get a dual opening center console, so with the button closest to the driver, you can open it and you get a little top shelf area for smaller items. But then there's a larger button that you can open, and then there's this clamshell that also opens. I don't know why it needed 2 different lids, but I guess it did. You can store bigger items down there. Very, very funky center console system here in the Infiniti Q45. The seats are heated power and memory, and I really, really enjoy them. They're very comfortable. They are sort of holding on to that really, really cushy comfort from the 90s. This is before the era of having airbags inside the seats. That's why modern luxury seats are comfortable, but they're still so hard because if you sit down too low, you're gonna touch the airbag, and that's no good. These don't have airbags in them, and so they are very, very plush and very comfortable. However, speaking of plush and comfortable, let's hop into the back and do a backseat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2004 Infiniti Q45, and a couple of things to note. First of all, knee room great, headroom great. This is an executive vehicle. Straightforward, it's good. Center console with cup holders that are unequal sized. So let's just do it for the funsies. It also passes the big friggin' bottle test in the back. It's quite impressive for the Q45. Climate vents down here, 12-volt outlet as well. Big talking point is the seat comfort. They're squishy, they're bouncy, and the best part about that is that if you ever get down on your luck, you're running out of money, you can loan these out and rent these out to a child's birthday party and use it as a bounce house. That's how cushy and cozy these seats really are. Really, really love seeing that out of the Q45. This is just Japanese luxury that you don't see anymore. Let's hop into the trunk. Well, not hop into the trunk. Let's go talk about the trunk from a distance, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, around the back of the Q45. Popped it from inside and pulled it up here. And here is the trunk. Obviously, these are the floor mats for the next owner. We want it to be nice and pretty. Really, really wide trunk. Not super deep, but very wide and very executive. You're going to be able to fit your golf clubs back here. Or in a realistic world, you'd be able to get picked up from the airport in one of these. All your bags and luggage would be fit back here. Very businessly, and I love that about it. Very big trunk for a very big car, and I like it a lot. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I've always found the Q45 to be rather interesting because it's not like super outwardly pretty. It's not winning any crazy design contests. However, you don't see them at all, and so it's really cool just to be looking at one and spending some time with one today. I really thoroughly enjoy that. However, I said we would touch back on the headlights. This has the Gatling gun style headlights, a very, very popular and one of the trademarks of the Q45 was this headlight style. It sort of ushered in a new era of headlights. They are HID as well. So very, very iconic. Here's your solid look at the Gatling gun headlights. Very, very cool. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving another Q45 here on the Shooting Cars YouTube channel? Well, just like the story before, it's very, very comfortable. The V8 is wonderful. It's effortless. It's exquisite. The interior in here is held up really, really well. It has nice touch points, and it has a backup camera. I forgot to mention that. The center screen does have a backup camera, which this car is 14 years before the backup cameras were legally required. Only in 2018 were backup cameras required. This had it 14 years before that. Really, really cool to see. There just seems like an attention to detail, and it feels as though this car was overbuilt in the same vein of a Lexus LS430 or the older Acura Legends. This car came from an era where build quality was the absolute bottom line. It has to be top notch or they're not making the car. And they put this car together with love, they put it together with true craftsmanship, and they cared about it when they put it together. And that's the separating factor between older Infiniti and newer Infiniti. And there's just a big separating factor between 90s and 2000s Japanese cars and today. It's not to say that today's Japanese cars are less of quality, but there's a lot more plastic clips. There's a lot more one-time use parts. There's certain parts of this car that I wonder if they're chiseled out of granite or solid marble. I feel as though if I were a giant, I would use one of these to keep a door open or to keep papers from flying off my desk. That's the sort of feel that the Q45 has. I'm excited to share all of that with you today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Low Mile Cars here in Burr Ridge, Illinois. As the name suggests, they specialize in just low mileage automobiles at very competitive pricing. Very friendly staff. Please go check out their inventory found in the description below. You will find some true eye candy. If you love obscure low mileage cars from the 2000s and 90s, you will salivate, my friend. So please go check them out. They're absolutely wonderful, and I look forward to working with them again more in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.